Light, keep in mind that it's almost time for you to return to the Ark.
Look, it's the Savior! I've been waiting for you!
What? How did you...
Come on, Micah! You know Huh? Wait, you're not her!
Ulrich, what do you think you're doing accosting strangers like that? I'm sorry. Forgive him. My son mistook you for our dear Miss Micah. It must have been the hair. Hers was exactly the same color.
Right. Easy mistake to make.
Miss Micah is beloved by our god Benevelza. What with the rose-colored hair, some even speculate that she could be the chosen one. The savior.
That's because Micah heard the voice of God. She told me!
The savior with rose-colored hair, huh?
Yes. Dear Miss Micah. She is a wonderful young woman. Always coming to the aid of the sick and ailing, like myself.
We've been waiting ages for her next visit. I thought you were her.
Were you expecting her to come again soon?
Uh-huh, and guess what else? She even promised us she would bring a phantom rose for us next time she came.
It's a crimson-colored flower, very similar to a rose. But while everyone knows of it, no one's ever actually seen one. They're said to never wither or die. They maintain their life and beauty forever.
A flower that never dies. It's no wonder no one's ever found one.
You're not easily fooled, are you? Yes, the Phantom Rose is nothing more than a fairy tale told to children. But this is what Micah said when she left. I'll bring you the legendary flower that no one believes can be found. So don't you give up on hope. Keep living. As you can see, I don't have much time left. But when she told me to go on living, I wanted to hold on, just so I wouldn't let her down.
Fake savior lady! If you see the real Micah around, tell her that she better not forget her promise to me, okay?
Ulrich, who taught you it was okay to be rude to others?
Sure, kid. I'll tell her not to forget about your flower.
Thanks. You're all right for a fake.
Oh yes, plenty of heretics caught before now.
Hey, little missy. How about a drink?
Looks like you've already had enough for both of us.
Not by half. I'm just barely getting started here. You want to know why? Ask my dearly departed fiancée. She left me standing there like a fool at the altar.
Do you really blame her? Who wants to marry a drunkard?
You got it all wrong, honey. I started drinking after she left me. Everything has gone downhill since then. You probably won't believe me when I tell you, but I used to command a whole legion of the Order's finest men. Those days, I was on top of the world. Nothing could bring me down.
Then why did your fiancé leave you? You must have some idea.
Not even the foggiest. Me and Filiana, we were so in love. Or so I thought. Then she disappeared. and never came back.
She disappeared out of the blue? Are you sure something didn't happen to her? You did look for her, didn't you?
Of course I did. From the palace in Yuznan to the edge of the wildlands. I searched for decades, but I never even heard a whisper of Filiana. And when I described her, no one had ever even seen her pass through. My Filiana was a looker. No one could have forgotten seeing her. We were the happiest two people could be. But then, I crashed down from heaven to hell. There's no salvation to be found in this world. No God or Savior to deliver us.
And if there's no salvation, then there's no hope?
Can you honestly tell me that I'm wrong? Show me. Show me where there's any hope in this place. What? You're gonna find my Filiana for me and prove me wrong?
I'd be willing to at least try. If there's still hope in this world, it has to be found. You have to look for it.
Ha! You're a tough chick with a good heart. Thanks for offering. That's good enough for me.
I said I was willing to try, and I meant it. Where was the last place you saw what was certainly your better half?
You're actually going to go find her? Filiana and I both lived in Yuznan back in those days. She was a fantastic cook. Her skills got her a job at a swanky restaurant where all the foodies went.
Did you check out the restaurants in Yuznan? It's possible she's working in one.
Oh, you don't get how desperate I was back then. I checked every lead I could get my hands on, but I found nothing.
I'll go back and check them again.
What? You will? You would do that? For a stranger? I don't know what to say. Here, take this with you. Matching rings. Seeing it just reminds me of her, but I don't have the courage to throw it away.
I've come to see the patron's palace from up close.
You have half an hour until you'll be transported back to the Ark.
Hello, welcome.
Business is good.
It is, thank you. Word of our shop's special flavor has quickly spread through word of mouth. This city is known for its gourmet restaurants, but none can hold a candle to the chefs we have assembled in our kitchens.
The best chefs in the city, huh? Lackley mentioned his missing fiancé was a great cook. I wonder.
Ma'am, is there something I can help you with?
I hope so. I'm looking for someone by the name of Filiana. According to her fiancé, she was a fantastic cook. Does this ring look familiar to you at all?
Oh, yes, of course. I recognize that. The woman was a wonderful cook indeed. Though the strange thing is, I never knew her by the name of Filiana.
She may have assumed another name. Was the woman you knew beautiful enough to turn the head of every man in the room?
Now, this is taking quite an odd turn. She was no doubt a very handsome woman, but very advanced in age. I suppose she must have been beautiful enough to turn heads once, but she was undeniably an old woman. Of course, we are all old now, that we don't age, but she must have been quite elderly already when time stopped for all of us.
An old woman? I suppose that can't be Lackley's lost fiancée, but where is she now?
I'm afraid I don't know. The lady in question fell ill and left our restaurant. I believe she moved to Luxarian to live with the support of an old friend there.
Do you know how to reach her, or that friend of hers?
Unfortunately, I don't know that woman's name or anything else about her. I saw her only once. She was a young woman, and if I recall correctly, wearing a rather unusual hat. Perhaps she was her daughter.
I see. Thanks for your time. You've been a great help. Lackley's ring ended up on the finger of a beautiful but old woman somehow. It's possible Filiana sold the ring. I'm not looking forward to telling Lackley about it, but he deserves the truth. He needs to know.
It's nearly 6. Don't be alarmed when the teleportation process starts. It can be quite sudden.
Morning.
I once had a bit of a scuffle with another guy.
I don't ever want to be associated with him.
You really should know your limit. Lackley, hey, wake up.
Excuse me, but who are you? And how is it you know Lackley?
I don't know him too well, but he asked me to find his lost fiancée. I've come to tell him about this lead I've found.
About Filiana? But where did...
At a restaurant in Yusnan. Apparently, there was an old woman working there who wore the same ring that Lackley gave to his fiancée. And when her health failed, that woman went to stay with a friend who lived in... Huh.
What is it? Is there something wrong with my hat?
According to the man I talked to at the restaurant, the friend who came to pick up the elderly lady was wearing an unusual hat. You seem familiar enough with Lackley. You also knew Filiana's name. Was it you?
Let me explain. Lackley and Filiana and I are friends from long ago. I'm Sela, and yes, I'm the one who escorted that old woman from the shop in Yusnan.
Care to tell me why?
Sure, but can we go elsewhere? I don't want Lackley to hear this. There's a graveyard with no name. You know of it, don't you? It's beyond North Station, on the outskirts of town. Oh, good. He's still sleeping. Come to the graveyard later so we can talk.
people venture too far into that part